It's the Score North Twin Show.
All right, Score North, Extra Innings, live from Target Field. Declan Goff here at the ballpark. We'll see if there's baseball played at all today or maybe even Thursday. I had a nice, shiny new smile. Went to the dentist. AJ loves going to the dentist like a psychopath. I, like a normal human, don't enjoy going to the dentist. I don't like being gassed up by my hygienist. AJ is the other way around. He loves and feels extra proud every time he goes to the dentist. So I'm here at Target Field for a 3-game series here against Tampa Bay with a fresh smile. And then I was trying to figure out, what should we lead with here today on Extra Innings, and had a couple things in mind. And then right before Rocco Baldelli is about to start his media availability in his office, I notice Alex Kirilloff walk out from the coaching office, and I was like, that's weird. What's Alex Kirilloff doing here? He was demoted going into last weekend, and I wanted some information on that. And then we also talked about that on an earlier Score North Twin show on last Friday with Judd. I got some background on what's going on with Alex Kirilloff. So Kirilloff, his options being reversed, he's going to be placed on the injured list here with the Twins. So here's what I got. Here's what we know from catching up with Rocco Baldelli earlier today. So this was something he thought he could play through, and he didn't tell Rocco about the injury when he was optioned late last week. So Rocco did mention that the communication on Kirilloff's front has to be a bit better, and he had the opportunity to bring that up when he was optioned, and Kirilloff did not bring that up. Here's another part of this. So Kirilloff at some point, I don't know when, whether this was a week ago, a month ago, 2 months ago, because his numbers have been in a nosedive for basically the last 2+ months. He did receive an MRI in his back at some point, and by all accounts, it was ruled that he could play through that. And again, I don't know the specifics of the timing of that MRI, and the MRI came before the option took place on Thursday too. So at the very least, this MRI happened a week ago, if not more likely weeks ago. And there's obviously a fine line between trying to play through something and having the ability to say also that I'm hurt and I need to address this, I need to fix this. These are competitors, these are professional athletes, and Alex kind of failed to bring that up. In the pregame scrum, I should say, I didn't get the sense that Rocco was furious at Alex, but I think there is some dad guilt there of, if there's something going on, you have to tell us to a degree. So he'll be placed on the injured list with the back injury, and he'll be placed on the injured list here with the Twins. So his option was kind of reversed there. There are some major roster decisions in the weeds that I will not get into on why that is the case. But Alex Kirilloff going on the injured list with the back injury age. Everyone's been wondering what's going on with Alex. Is the wrist flaring up, which was something that he dealt with last year. He had off-season shoulder surgery too at one point, and they were adamant, the coaching staff was, for the last weeks leading up to this, that medically he's fine. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing that's checking out that would force them to put him on the injured list. This wasn't really until Alex came to Rocco himself, I'm guessing at some point today, and said, hey, I am dealing with something. I have a back injury. I need to rest and not play through this anymore. So Alex Kirilloff going on the injured list with a back injury. That is, I guess, part of the reason why he has struggled so much over the last few months.
Timetables on this are going to be interesting to kind of speculate about, because I have his monthly splits via Baseball Reference here in front of me. Okay. Let's look at this past month. He's played 8 games in June. He's batting a abysmal 95. 95. That simply cannot happen.
0 point.
No.
0.095.
95.
0.095.
Yes. In May, it's slightly better. 161 for a batting average. And then the March and April combined batting average, 256. Incredibly, so much better. That is a everyday MLB player right there. So you got to wonder what happened, whether it leaked right at the end of, what would that be, April into May, or right early in May, or when that happened, because there's one thing to have a little bit of a slump and play bad baseball.
Yep.
But there is now 2 months of back-to-back something is not right. And, I think we saw right off the get-go that he's not a bad baseball player.
No, certainly not.
Certainly not a bad baseball player. He was one of the guys that I think we could say in that early, really rough patch was probably one of the standout performers of this team. I mean, he started off red hot to start the season. If you're hurt, I mean, I think it does a lot just in the clubhouse to step up and say, hey, guys, Rocco, my coach, my manager, I right now cannot perform at a decent enough level, health-wise, to benefit this team. Something has to happen here. And it'd be one thing if it was we're creeping into October and you need the best players possible on any given night to, string together some sort of playoff run. It's June.
Right.
It's June. Why are we hiding anything allegedly? Why are we not putting stuff forward in the open there for the coaching staff to make decisions about? Because Byron Buxton has battled injury. Mm-hmm. Carlos Correa has battled injury. Royce Lewis has battled injury. And those ones are a little bit more, you're sidelined a little more often. We saw Carlos Correa battle through his, the plantar fasciitis?
Yeah, last year he did.
Yeah, he played through that at times. Obviously, this is not something that Alex Kirilloff can play through and be beneficial to the club. So, let's get him set aside on a shelf to rehabilitate and get healthy so that he can come back and have another stab at what we saw early in the season.
And when I talked to Judd on Friday for a Score North Twins episode, and by the way, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is the Score North Twins Show YouTube channel. We just launched this right before the season started. We appreciate everyone that has liked and watched all these videos, and of course, listen to our podcast feed. So hit the like button, subscribe button. You can help spread the word about this show. So when I talked to Judd about some background stuff, because I did get some background on Thursday about what's going on, because there was a report, our buddy Darren Doogie Wilson reported the Twins coaching staff really wanted to change up his swing, and that was a reason for the demotion. Not denying what Doogie said, but I kind of heard the opposite from the people that I talked to, that Alex was making a lot of these adjustments to his own swing on his own. And to be honest, I believe that, because if you were dealing with a nagging back injury, I think you, as your own human body is being broken down, you're trying to overcome it, you're going to do different things to swing the bat if you're hurting with a back injury. And again, I don't know the severity of this. Is this going to be something that keeps him out for a long time? I will say typically back injuries obviously are scary and they're bad news for anytime you hear them as a sports fan or as a professional athlete. But he was making a lot of those adjustments on his own. And it wasn't necessarily, was the coaching staff tweaking with them? Yeah, the coaching staff's going to tweak with everyone, obviously, throughout the year, whether you're maybe as good as someone like Royce Lewis and Carlos Correa, or whether you're a scuffling player that's trying to fight through something. But clearly there came a point after just a couple rehab games with the St. Paul Saints where Kirilloff was able to admit that, no, I am dealing with the back injury. I agree. I don't think it's a great look on anyone's part, by the way. I know the easy finger to blame here is the team, because they've had a history of some injury stuff that fans probably even overrate to a degree, but there was also some validation there. But also, I probably lean more towards blaming Alex for not discussing this with his own manager when he was being optioned down on Thursday. So communication certainly has to be better there. Rocco obviously admitted that to us in the pregame. So yeah, he'll be going on the injured list with the back injury. And maybe this does explain why a guy who started the season red hot and had a very good season, finally living up to his potential last year, has struggled for the better part of 2024. We'll see what happens after this. Maybe we'll get some more information on when that MRI took place, when maybe the tweaking of the back, the injury itself took place. But very frustrating, I think, if you're a Twins fan, now that you kind of realize, hey, there actually was an injury going on here with Kirilloff.
Yeah, and to your point, it's going to be weird to kind of find out, because I would like to assume we're going to find out more about, at some point down the road, who is mainly to blame on this. Because on one part, is it the medical staff, the training squad, saying, Alex, we don't see anything that is, detrimental, anything that's major. You should be able to perform. You should be able to do most of your daily tasks. Maybe you have to, ice it a little bit more. Maybe, almost downplaying it to where he's, how old is he? He is
27.
Okay, so he's not. Yeah, I mean, old enough to where he should know.
26. 26
He's 26
years old. He will be 27 in November, so he's 26 right now.
Yeah, so I mean, old enough to where you should probably be able to recognize like something's wrong. I think, I mean, I'm only a year past that, but I feel like I'm rehabilitating decently enough with like, okay, something's just sore, it's fine, or I threw my back out. Like, I know the difference between those two things. Or is it on the other side, they did a scan and like, okay, nothing looks major. Alex, do you have any more concerns? And he says, nope. If you say it's not that bad, I'll just deal with it. I'll just power through, that type of thing. So where the blame here is going to be a discussion. I think hopefully we have a little bit more knowledge down the road, but you're right. The communication has to be better. The fact that it now is just getting brought up to Rocco and that now he's finally in the loop, a little concerning, because I think as a manager, you have to have, your finger kind of in every single pot. You need to be connecting with these guys, and not a friend, but not a standalone authority figure where you're relating to them. I mean, everybody's worked that job where they had that manager. I feel like that is, yes, they're your boss, but they're not quite a friend, but they're somewhere in between. Like if they say, hey, we need you to go wash the dishes, or then you need to go take out the trash. Yeah, you're going to do it. But also you're going to come back and you're going to, throw jokes back and forth and talk while it's dead for the next half hour. So, slightly concerning. This is definitely an issue, but hopefully whatever it is, Kirilloff can get back healthy and back to the level we saw right at the start of the year. Yeah,
and, he is a former first-round pick. I know the Twins just cut Keone Cavacho, I believe is what it is. Kiki Cucaracho, as Pat Ricey infamously called him on an Unchained episode a few years ago. Kiki Cucaracho. He's actually, Pat himself is in the press box a couple of places down from me. I'm here in the thriving Legends Club. And, he's a former first-round pick. He's been struggling to go up and down, and last year looked like things finally clicked for him. Trevor Larnach was kind of in that boat, too, and he's been obviously a very steady player for the Twins this year. We'll see what happens here with Kirilloff. We'll get some more information for you. But, yeah, I mean, it's just with Joe Ryan dealing with an injury last year where he basically hid this hamstring, I believe is what it was, injury, and then he gets rocked in the second half of the year, and it kind of basically costs him the second half of the season. I'm not sure why players don't elect to just tell player. I mean, I have a good idea why players don't elect to tell their coaching staff that I am hurt. They're competitors and they certainly want to play through things. But you don't like to see trends of this continue. You saw it with Joe Ryan. Mm-hmm. You don't want to see it continue with Alex Kirilloff. And again, I do think there's a bigger conversation, and I'm sure we'll probably have it on future Twin Show episodes with Mackie and Judd too. But you just don't want to see players not feel comfortable enough to tell their staff, their coaches, their bosses, I know what you were just talking about, Age, that, hey, I'm not 100% here. I need to fix this.
And maybe this is like the thing, and probably the only one thing that separates me from a professional baseball player. But when I get hurt, when I injure myself, everybody and their mother are going to hear about it, right? If I have a cold, Declan, you are going to find out about it.
Yeah.
First off, it's the right thing to do. But like, if I pull my hamstring, doing whatever outside in the yard over the weekend, you're going to find out on Monday. As soon as I walk in the door, oh my God, I'm limping in. Give me some crutches. Do we have a wheelchair on standby? Something along those lines, because the fact that we're not sharing these intimate health details with there's only so many spots in the MLB. You should be able to feel comfortable sharing your status, whether you're healthy, whether you're not. Did you sleep wrong? Is your neck slightly tweaked because you whipped your head too quick around looking at whatever? This has to be shared. You get paid, frankly, too much money to not know the intricate details about your health day to day by your training staff. So yeah, this is, why are we not sharing these details? That's my biggest question here so far. Anyway,
it's pretty valid. It's a valid point.
I'll digress.
Hit the like button and subscribe button. This is Score North Extra Innings. Appreciate everyone listening and watching to this podcast. So I know we typically don't preview things here from the ballpark because it's going to get dated really quickly. I will say it's a Tuesday here at about 4:40 p.m. We're scheduled about 2 hours away from the first pitch between the Rays and the Twins for 3 games. However, there is impending weather and I wouldn't be surprised if this one gets banged. And if it does get postponed, you're probably looking at a straight doubleheader tomorrow. Rocco did say that, hey, if we're kind of discussing all things at the moment, I don't think they would do a straight or even obviously a split doubleheader on their getaway day on Thursday. Twins obviously just played a doubleheader on Sunday. They were off on Monday yesterday. We'll see what happens here with this. They did mention that they might be sending some starting pitchers who are scheduled to throw, and I'll pull that up here in just a sec, on the California road trip that the Twins are supposed to go on here after this, because they're just wrapping up a 13-game homestand. But if there's going to be people here obviously kind of trapped waiting around for the games to finish, Bailey Ober is scheduled to pitch Game 1 against the Oakland A's on Friday, Chris Paddock for Game 2. Pablo Lopez is starting tonight, or at least is supposed to start Game 1 of this series whenever it starts. So it wouldn't be surprising, actually. They might send guys like Ober and Paddock on, whether it's private or just on Delta. I don't know where the hell they'll fly. They might send them on their own way, so they're not dealing with the starting pitcher, getting 4 hours to sleep in some random hotel room after coming in at 4 a.m., so that might be a thing, but we'll see. I mean, this has been a very weird homestand for the Twins. They had one game already rained out. They had a doubleheader. There was a Flo Rida concert. There was an off day on Monday. They haven't lost on this, or they've only lost one game, I should say, on this homestand. They've been beaten up on bad teams again. For a 13-game homestand, that's a lot of things to happen. And we're not even done with the homestand yet. So it's been a very wacky and wonky homestand here for the Twins.
And did you even mention the City Connect, like all the promotional stuff to do with that?
I forgot the City Connects, yeah.
Think about all the stuff that's happened on this homestand. I mean, how do you expect one of these pitchers to get a good night's sleep after finally
Amen.
Embarking on the road? That nice little nugget. I'm glad they're planning ahead, and I'm sure that's not Rocco's job to think about. Yeah, I'm sure somebody's coming to him saying, "Hey, Rock, what do you think about this? Some of these guys that you're probably not using, let's get them out there a little early. Let's get them on a private flight, or like you said, let's throw them on Spirit, Coach."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Throw them on Spirit. Throw them on economy airline here.
Hey, anything to, because frankly, like we've seen with some of the pitching outings for this team this season, anything that's going to help, the better. Put them in a spot to where they can get more than 3 1/3 or 4 1/3 to get the bullpen a little bit of legs for some pretty important games, because this is, like you said, they've been winning games. It hasn't necessarily been against the best of teams, but wins are still wins. You got to make sure to already go back on a Royce reference that we're going to get to too. You can't have a bad loss.
That would be a bad loss.
Loss. Yeah, you don't want a bad loss. And against the Rays and against the Oakland A's, the Athletics, who are going to be moving to Sacramento and then out to LA or LV, Las Vegas. And anything there is really going to be a bad loss. So let's not do that. Let's plan to not have that.
In the words of the infamous Dom Toretto, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning. So yes, at the end of the day, winning is winning. And the Twins are only a half game back from second place now in the Central. They're 5.5 games back of Cleveland, who is starting to finally lose some baseball games for the first time basically all year. And yeah, just take care of these bad teams. They'll be on the road after this series wraps up at Tampa Bay for the rest of the month of June. Then they'll be here briefly for a homestand against Detroit and Houston before kind of finishing things up on the road in the first half of their schedule. So Age, I think that'll do it here for Extra Innings. Follow at Dex Tweets, follow Score North too for any updates on any of these games for the rest of this homestand to see if there's double headers. When I walked in on Saturday, I will be this person here. I usually don't like to complain about baseball press person getting to watch baseball for free, and especially after what I was doing in my free time before leading into that game. I walk off 18 on Saturday, Age. I tee off at 7:30 a.m. so I can still get to the ballpark here to do my job of covering the Minnesota Twins.
Are you comfortable sharing what you shot?
Oh, I shot like 112. Nothing.
Okay, you got your money's worth. You got your money's worth. That's fine.
The score is irrelevant to me. It's about the vibes.
There you go.
And I hustle over here. I get in the press box, and I don't even get to my damn seat before they say, "Ladies and gentlemen, today's game has been postponed." So rushed all the way over here for doubleheaders. We're probably looking at more doubleheaders, so gearing up for free baseball. Really excited about it. I am jacked. I am jacked about it. This might not sound like I am, but I am jacked. I love me some baseball.
Yeah, in the legendary words of Ernie Banks, let's play two.
Let's play two. Let's do it.
Have you gotten an update, any more news, any more insight on the Wheel of Fortune in the Twins clubhouse?
I haven't gotten the latest. I know Pablo is now basically open with it. He is starting on Tuesday, so we'll see. Maybe he can tip my hand on what. I know Chris Paddock got like the eye massager. I don't know what else is in there. I also don't know if there's like gag gifts in there.
Yeah,
that could 100% be. Or not. But I mean not even a gag gift, like rotten jelly beans or like something bad. I don't know.
You open the can and the worms. Yeah.
things come out. So maybe I'll see if we can get some more Wheel of Fortune intel. This is Score North Extra Innings. We're live from the majority of Twins home games. We're live from select road games as well. So hit the like button, subscribe button. That's AJ. I am Dex. We'll be talking at you soon.